Today on Channel 8 News, we'll sit down with former K-State President Richard Myers as he steps into retirement. Plus, what steps Aggieville is taking to make their district safer after multiple recent shootings. And later, how Social Media Week at K-State is helping students navigate trouble online. But first, a look at our forecast for today.
While Kansas City and Topeka got hit with some snow, here in Manhattan, not so much. But colder temperatures and much more coming up on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Kate Kennedy. Coming up, we'll take a look at the current COVID-19 situation in our area and how declining enrollment at Kansas State has hurt local businesses. Plus, how K-State Athletics is making the case for one women's basketball player to be named an All-American. First, K-State welcomed its new president to the job this week. On Monday, Dr. Richard Linton took over as the 15th president of the university. Linton was introduced at a Kansas Board of Regents special meeting last December and officially took over this week. Linton had been the dean of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at North Carolina State University. This ends the tenure of General Richard B. Myers. He reflected on his time as K-State president with Channel 8 News this week. Claiborne Schmidt has more.
There are lots of favorite memories, of course, both as a student and as coming back as the president. But the one that I'll never forget is I was in the Air Force in pilot training. I'd been down at Enid Air Force Base for 1 week, and I had to come back to Manhattan because that's the only time we could find a place to get married. And we got married in the All Faiths Chapel there on campus. So I guess my favorite memory is coming back to Manhattan on a Friday, getting married on a Saturday, going back to Enid on Sunday, and starting off again in pilot training at 5 a.m. on a Monday.
What was one of your favorite parts about being president at K-State?
I tell you, the most favorite part was just being around the people that make up the K-State nation, if you will. I mean, the students, the faculty, staff, alumni, other supporters of all types, just being around them, their passion for K-State, their dedication to trying to make it as good a university as we can make it.
It's election season here at K-State, and several candidates have been campaigning over the last few weeks. Kansas State University hosts elections for the Student Governing Association. These elections allow students to vote for other students to fill positions such as president and vice president of the student body. These elected officials serve the student body in a variety of ways.
First off, obviously, this is an organization of student leaders that represent student voices to administration, to local leaders.
So every semester you pay that $470-ish of the student services fee. It used to be called the privilege fee. That amounts to about $15 million that students get to allocate, and students select those students.
While it appears that SGA has a significant influence on university life, historically, voter turnout for all elections has been very low.
The last 3 elections, we have had the lowest voting turnout ever, really, in SGA.
In fact, in last year's election, approximately 2,000 students voted. This means that roughly only 1 out of every 10 students participated in the election. This can impact students in more ways than they may realize.
Well, I think the biggest thing is representation.
If a whole group of students doesn't vote, then that group might not be represented.
With that in mind, SGA made some changes to the election process for this year.
This year, instead, we are just doing one whole election and instant runoff voting for the presidential candidates. So what that means is there are as many number of candidates on the ballot as want to be.
With these alterations, the organization hopes that more students will be willing and able to vote. As Michael Dowd wraps up his term as student body president, he still remains passionate about students staying involved and informed.
Thank you for everyone who has participated previously, not just with our election, but with all elections in the past. I encourage everyone to get out and vote.
Elections will be held on February 22nd and 23rd. For students that are eligible, keep an eye out on Canvas for the link to vote. For more information, check out kstate.edu/elections. In recent weeks, police have investigated multiple shootings in the Aggieville Entertainment District of Manhattan. Channel 8's Eden Brockman went out to Aggieville to talk to those that have been affected and see how Aggieville and the Riley County Police Department are responding to these incidents.
Chandler Mixon, a bouncer at Mojo's, had to take time off work after witnessing a shooting in Aggieville.
I was at Tate's like a month or two ago when that first shooting happened. Happened probably like 5 to 7 feet away from me. I didn't work for a couple weeks just until I was like, I didn't really want to be in the Ville, you know. It's like it's kind of a weird situation to be in, but I'm back at Mojo's and everything, and I just took a little bit of time off just to kind of relax for a minute.
Riley County Public Information Officer Aaron Wintermote said that in light of the recent shootings, there is a heavier police presence in Aggieville.
Those officers, will go in and do bar checks at the different bars, meet with the owners of the businesses, and really try to see, what's going on. Is there any, trouble that night or anything like that?
The director of the Aggieville Business Association, Dennis Cook, has been meeting with the Riley County Police Department and the Commanding General of Fort Riley to discuss more solutions.
One of the conversations we've had is about getting back to having what they call courtesy patrols. So you may see military officers walking around with RCPD.
In Aggieville, I'm Eden Brockman for Channel 8 News.
2 years into the pandemic, COVID-19 prevention and treatment still dominate our community. In the past 2 weeks, the number of active cases and the percentage of positive tests has dropped significantly. Following the Omicron surge over the last few months, Riley County Health Director Julie Gibbs says they expect to see the drop after the variant's peak.
We expected to see that drop after Omicron came through. Our percent positive is dwindling as well. We're still encouraging people to get vaccinated. It's never too late to do that. Continue to wear your mask in crowded places, and certainly keep washing those hands.
For more information about COVID-19 in Riley County, visit the Riley County Health Department website, riley-county-ks.gov. Call Hall on K-State campus is known for ice cream treats, but they are serving up more than some may realize. Channel 8 reporter Claiborne Schmidt has the story.
Jared Parsons, the Call Hall Dairy Plant manager, has been working with students for the past 15 years at the on-campus dairy plant and grew up visiting Call Hall.
When I was a kid, and I told you I lived here in Manhattan, I always thought of Call Hall as an ice cream shop. I guess I kind of remember they had milk available, but I sure didn't know that that was a full bottling plant on the other side of the wall.
All of the products sold at the Call Hall Dairy Bar are sourced locally. Anthony Fink, dairy bar manager, talks about the variety of products sold.
Most of it, other than the flour and stuff, comes from the Department of Animal Sciences, so we use it as a way to brand the entire department rather than just Call Hall Dairy. We pulled in Weber Beef because they also have their own beef sales, but then the K-State Poultry also allows us to get another aspect of the animal science side of things.
From the dairy plant to the dairy bar, community members can find more than just ice cream at Call Hall.
What we process here on a regular basis is the fluid milk for the dorms and Greek accounts that we have, as well as ice cream mix and frozen ice cream and cheese, as well as processed cheese.
Call Hall is no longer just ice cream.
From Call Hall, this is Claiborne Schmidt, Channel 8 News.
You can visit the dairy bar from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, or 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday. Time for our first break, but when we come back, have you ever had a war of words on social media? And what happens when one side takes it too far? Plus, as we celebrate Black History Month, the Beach Museum of Art has a special exhibit helping people find their voice. Up next.
like a purple front has kind of moved into the stadium. Beautiful day and music's loud. The fans are on their feet.
Wilnet crushes it to left, and K-State leads 8-1. The 1-2, a swing and a miss. Reams it to center. Long run for Mertz. He can't get there. K-State has added 5 here this 6th inning.
K-State will run the option. Here's Skylar Thompson. He walks it in. Walks it in front of Antonio Gordon. Here's the shot with the step.
And it is Kansas State, courtesy of Brent Carlson. Side of the box, crossing, wide open, the shot.
Thompson right away. That ball is gone.
She gets the ball back, goes up strong, scores, and one.
He'll take it down on Jacobson. Off to McGurl. Layup. Yes. Fielded at the 48. Here's Brooks to the 25-20. He's going to score. Wildcat touchdown.
He crushes it.
February is Black History Month, and this week we wanted to highlight an African-American artist living and working in the Manhattan community. Doug Barrett found his love for photography at an early age. Many years and many photographs later, his most recent work is being shown in the Beach Museum at K-State. Barrett's 3 projects being highlighted focus on the struggle of homeless veterans, the Black Lives Matter movement, and the experiences of African Americans in the Manhattan community. Barrett has spent time as a police officer and a member of the United States military. He feels that this experience molds well with his photography.
I think it all works together hand in hand because imagery can be used to create conversations, and representation through photography is important. Representation as a Black man is important.
Barrett's work is ongoing, and he hopes that his current and future projects will challenge viewers and spark conversation.
Some imagery is going to cause uncomfortableness. Some images are going to cause people to think. But in order for the change to happen, you have to be able to have that conversation. These 3 bodies of work spark conversations from homelessness to what it's like to be an African American in the United States of America, and then the reality of what that looks like in our own communities.
The Find Your Voice exhibit can be viewed in person at the Beach Museum until May 28th, or you can check out the virtual exhibit on the museum's website. This week, K-State students came together to learn more about dealing with negativity on social media during a panel for the first annual Social Media Week. Channel 8 reporter Lena Sadarin has more.
Kaylee McLaughlin, a recent K-State grad, served as the editor-in-chief of the Collegian during her time here at K-State, where she faced online harassment.
It started kind of just like as a result of being kind of like a public figure on campus with being a student journalist. Like, it was a weird thing because nobody really knew who I was, but they recognized the name, and so it kind of attracted some really weird individuals who had a lot of feelings that they wanted to share with me.
As a college student, she didn't know where to turn.
It took a physical and an emotional toll on me. Like, I was sick for a few days. The stress was like making me ill.
Vedant Kulkarni, a current student, member of the student government, and a writer for the Collegian, also had trolling incidents while in the public eye.
So I started writing opinion pieces for the Collegian that focused on the importance of DEI initiatives on campus. And obviously, when you're very passionate about certain topics, you are bound to get some criticism.
Negative chatter on social media is more common than you may think, especially for some campus public figures. K-State's first ever Social Media Week is talking about these negativities and their impact on our students' well-being.
The purpose of this event today is to talk about, okay, how do you manage negative chatter? How do you handle that?
For students affected by online harassment, K-State has services to help.
I got some counseling services. I contacted the care office. And it just takes time to get over it, I think. And I had friends who were kind of experiencing similar things to me, unfortunately. But That was helpful because you're not in the boat alone, like there are other people there with you.
For McLaughlin, she feels this was a lesson learned about how to deal with negative energy on social media.
You have to take it. If somebody is saying stuff like that to you, you don't have to just sit there and watch it happen. And you can also just turn off Twitter notifications or put your account on private or make it so people who don't follow you can't DM you to kind of insulate yourself.
In Manhattan, I'm Lena Sadarin, Channel 8 News.
Social Media Week runs until tomorrow, the 18th. For more information on Social Media Week events, check out kstate.edu/SMW. Coming up, we will bring you an update on whether or not we will see any snow in our area, and how one K-State men's basketball player is working to achieve his dreams.
Upon arrival, I'm like, oh, these people love football. Like, these people are nuts about Kansas State. And Saturday morning, I mean, swarms of people outside of the stadium tailgate. We come in, it's about 45 minutes before game time. The stadium's packed. And I'm like, this is the atmosphere. Whenever I dream of playing college football, this is exactly what I see. The chants, the music, everything. And just throughout the entire game, I mean, it was just a place I knew I had to be.
Please direct your attention to the pride of Wildcat Land, the Kansas State University Marching Band.
A great environment it is here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
It's time for the Wabash Cannonball.
This crowd, this is energetic. This is perfect.
This atmosphere, it's just different.
The one, the only, the pride of Wildcat Land, the Kansas State University Marching Band.
The dribble, and it is showtime! He'll take it down on Jacobson. Off to McGurl, layup, yes! Fielded at the 48. Here's Brooks to the 25-20. He's going to score! Wildcat touchdown! He crushes it!
Hopefully the weather will hold to be able to get out on the trails this weekend. Lena Sadarin joins us now with more on the forecast. Lena?
Thanks, Kate. Today we're going to look at today's high. It's going to be about 30 degrees, and the snow flurries that we had this morning made it kind of a brisk morning, but we don't have any more of that in our forecast. Winds are at about 18 miles per hour and humidity at a nice 45%. Now let's take a look at our national temperatures, and we got a wide span of temperatures across the map. Like I said, in the Midwest, we did feel some snow because of that cold front coming in from the north. Up in the North Dakota, we have about high 20s, and then as you go to the northeast, it's going to be about low 60s and cloudy, and then down the coast to Florida, about low 80s, but it's looking pretty warm down there. And on the other side, California, a nice mid 60s, partly sunny. Down to Arizona, about the same. Zooming back into Kansas, we see pretty cold temperatures across the map. Over here by Colorado, it's about mid 30s. And then on the other side of Kansas, we are still seeing some snow in a Johnson County, Kansas City area. Like I said, we're not going to see any more in Riley County. Next, our 24-hour forecast is going to look quite a bit warmer than we felt today. This evening is going to be about 30 degrees. Tomorrow morning, kind of a brisk start, but the sun will be shining, and tomorrow afternoon, a nice 52 degrees. So it'll be a nice day to go outside and enjoy the weather. And finally, our 5-day forecast, we are seeing a nice bit of warm up, about 52 degrees on Friday with a low of 14, but sunny all week. And then on Monday, we're going to be seeing some winds. And Sunday, it's going to be a nice high of 66 degrees. Back to you, Kate.
Thanks, Lena. Sports is coming up after the break. We will introduce you to the newest cross-country star signing to run at the next level, and how one men's basketball player is taking the phrase heart over height to a new level. We'll be right back.
I've kind of always really been interested in interior design since I was little.
And it's an art, it's like a creative outlet, but there's also this problem-solving aspect to it as well. So it's just like a puzzle. And there's also not really a right or wrong answer to it. I love it though. The best part about design is you get so caught up in it and you just get your flow going. You just get kind of lost in it. Oh, I love it.
I actually started out in mechanical engineering, and I realized that I liked a lot more of the sciences and chemistries and biology classes that came with engineering. So then I decided to try out chemical engineering first, and I really enjoyed chemical engineering. The engineering degree also opens a lot of opportunities into other fields. Hoping to go to law school after I graduate to study patent law. It's a really good opportunity to take what you had learned with your engineering degree and apply it more so in a law or government-based application.
What the radio station has done for me, it has allowed me to use my public speaking capabilities and provide it into a entertaining way. I would say the fact that most of the classes I've taken have not just been fluff, like they feel like they've actually prepared me for the world. If all things go well, working there might have gotten me a job.
K-State, I think, has made me comfortable taking a leadership position. As a computer scientist, the leadership experience and how well you communicate with others is often overlooked by most people. I'm a section leader in the K-State marching band, so it definitely made pursuing, those leadership opportunities more easily. If you demonstrate proficiency in those skills, then that really sets you apart, and I think that really has to go into why I ultimately got the internship.
K-State men's basketball relies on a diminutive playmaker, while the women's team have a star in the center. Landon Reinhardt has more on today's sports.
Thank you, Kate. K-State Athletics has unveiled a new website to showcase women's basketball star Ayoka Lee as award season rolls around. Lee is up for the NCAA's Defensive and National Player of the Year awards, amongst others. The website hosts photos, videos, and stories from Lee's historic season and can be accessed online at kstatesports.com/YokiLee50. One player helping out the Wildcats men's team on a different level is junior guard Marquise Noel. Standing at just 5'8", Noel isn't a huge player, but his play makes up for it in a big way.
When Marquise Noel came to K-State from Arkansas Little Rock, he had doubters early on because of his height.
I was always short, man, since the beginning, but it started really in high school when, I was probably the shortest guy on my team and on the court at the time, and I just brought the passion.
Noel's adopted the slogan, "Heart over height," as stated in his pinned tweet on Twitter. While being overlooked everywhere he goes, Noel always gets heads to turn once the game begins.
And hunger and grit each and every day. And, people used to tell me, man, heart over height, man, you got some heart, kid. And I would just laugh. And, it just, it made me feel good that knowing that you could be the shortest guy on your team, but, at the end of the day, the fans know who gives their heart, who gives, the most passion. That's what I try to do out there. I just try to give them my all.
Averaging 12 points per game for the Wildcats, Noel's been balling out in a physical Big 12 conference. Noel's dreams don't end, however, at thriving at the Division I level.
I always had a dream of making it to the NBA and making it, being an all-star. Sometimes it keep me up at night, just thinking and dreaming and visualizing, myself there.
Noel isn't shy about his goals either, posting regularly on Twitter about his future plans.
I'm a big guy on manifestation and do things to, make that come to life. So, yeah, it's just, a dream that, I'm just, trying to speak into existence.
Noel's just a junior, so he'll be around another year before heading into his new journey. Wamego's Noah Marenz is signed to run cross country with Division II Fort Hays State. Marenz placed 7th in the 4A State Cross Country Championship in the fall.
Excited. Going into this season, I didn't think I would have many opportunities to run more in college, but then started to get a few colleges to look at me and realize that this would be very fun to do.
Sports, back to the desk, Kate.
Thanks, Landon. We're going to take another quick break, but don't go away. We'll be right back to wrap it up here on Channel 8 News.
Kind of always really been interested in interior design since I was little. And it's an art, it's like a creative outlet, but there's also this problem-solving aspect to it as well. So it's just like a puzzle. And there's also not really a right or wrong answer to it. I love it though. The best part about design is you get so caught up in it and you just get your flow going. You just get kind of lost in it. Oh, I love it.
I actually started out in mechanical engineering, and I realized that I liked a lot more of the sciences and chemistries and biology classes that came with engineering. So then I decided to try out chemical engineering first, and I really enjoyed chemical engineering. The engineering degree also opens a lot of opportunities into other fields. Hoping to go to law school after I graduate to study patent law. It's a really good opportunity to take what you had learned with your engineering degree and apply it more so in a law or government-based application.
What the radio station has done for me, it has allowed me to use my public speaking capabilities and provide it into a entertaining way. I would say the fact that most of the classes I've taken have not just been fluff, like they feel like they've actually prepared me for the world. If all things go well, working there might have gotten me a job.
K-State, I think, has made me comfortable taking a leadership position. As a computer scientist, the leadership experience and how well you communicate with others is often overlooked by most people. I'm a section leader in the K-State marching band, so it definitely made pursuing, those leadership opportunities more easily. If you demonstrate proficiency in those skills, then that really sets you apart, and I think that really has to go into why I ultimately got the internship.
Before we go, let's take one final look at our weather. Lena?
Thanks, Kate. We're going to look at our final 5-day forecast one more time. And looking at Thursday, it's about 30 degrees today, and we did have a low of 12 this morning. Tomorrow, it's going to be about mid-50s with a low of 14 degrees, and we're going to warm up a ton starting with Saturday. It's going to be about a high of 45 degrees, and then Sunday, a high of 66 degrees. It should be sunny the rest of the week. No more snow flurries like we saw today. That was mostly in Johnson County and further east. And then Monday, it's still going to be pretty warm, about 54, but the winds are going to kick back in with a low of 25. And that's all for me, so let's take it back to Kate.
And that's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining us for today's show. Coming up on our next show, we'll hear from new President Dr. Richard Linton. That and more in the next 3 weeks.
This is Channel 8 News.